so much water hanging on those fern-like branches. You wanna go inside? Gosh, you're wet. Oh my gosh. Something I don't get to do often enough is walk in the rain in the garden and really see everything, get a nice drink. So we finally got a good rain today, all day really, and it's gonna go all night. So here we go. This is kind of the front here. We've got planted out with Supertunia Bordeaux, some lemon coral sedum as annuals, and the rest are perennials. So we've got some miscanthus back there, the kind of zebra grass. It's got a big variegation on the edge. A couple of hardy hibiscus actually, and oddly enough, I saw the other day this one sprouted up from this mother plant, I assume, unless it's a seed, but I've never seen the seeds germinate here, so I'm gonna say it came from the roots. And we got just a lot of hydrangeas on the edges, a lot of vanilla strawberries, which are going to be the largest. And this is, well, this is not it. How these fingers are planted out are really with the hardy hibiscus in the front, different colors, mostly red though. And then I've got 6 limelight hydrangeas, so this is going to turn into a monster real fast. And then we've got some struggling red buds, more hydrangea, and then we've got some grasses in the back. All of the grasses didn't come back for, well, I know why, because I buried them too deep with mulch, but they're topped off at the end with a hibiscus. I keep saying hydrangea, but this is how it's supposed to look. We've got 3 grasses that came up, and those get about 5 foot tall, and really kind of a nice color, or nice visual block from the road. More of the same, some grasses that came up but are slow. And then down here I've got, this is really the corner of the intersection. I've got the Dawn Redwood, which is one of my favorite deciduous conifers, and just holding raindrops. It's just awesome. I expect that to grow maybe 3 foot this year. It's got a great spot, a lot of mulch on the bed, so walking on down, I always jog in here to the Supertunia Vista Bordeaux and lemon coral sedum, which I just mowed, so we got grass everywhere. But some of them are yellowing, but not sure if that's a feeding thing or a water thing, so I'm gonna try to adjust both. I'll probably give some fertilizer to these tomorrow, and maybe cut down the water. I've got them watering at 6 o'clock a.m. and 7 p.m. every day for 10 minutes. Might be too much, but I thought since they were planted above ground level in mulch, and that might be too, I thought that would keep them hydrated, but I don't want to keep them wet. And then walking around to the next Supertunia bed, which is the showstopper today for me, or for this year really. The Vista Bubblegum is just crowding. This is a 3-week-old project, and these are a week ahead of the Bordeaux that we just looked at, but that lemon coral sedum is just amazing. And in the middle I've got some salvias to give it some height, which have a dark or light medium blue, I guess, but a dark pistil that shoots up, and I like the green. It was a little darker green at the nursery, but that's alright. And on the edges I've got that truffle of pink gomprina. They're not taken off yet, but these will each turn into a 3-foot bush if they perform like they did in my last house. So just take another spin. These lemon coral sedums are just the oddest thing that it's probably my favorite part of the bed. You just want to brush them with a hairbrush almost. They're succulent style plants, but they'll spread out, add a lot of bright, cool color maybe. I don't know if that's cool, but are my favorite. That's just a great bed. Framed by some oaks that are struggling, and hopefully we're helping the oaks here. But I am very pleased with that. And if we don't, we've got some volunteer oaks that I've been mowing around over the years, so they'll come in as backups if we lose some more oaks. I've lost one big one and kind of killed me. But as I walk around, we've got another little spot here that has dawn redwoods, a hydrangeas planted way too close to one of those variegated grasses, and that's something I've got to figure out in the next few days. But these dawn redwoods are just amazing. This one back in the background here is super gnarly, just twisted, but growing really fast. And these fire and ice hydrangeas are actually growing their panicles already. So I don't expect anything from those until late July, but they're exceeding my expectations already. And then walking through the honey locust grove, and this is the largest healthy bur oak that I have, and it's raining, so I don't want to get too much water here, but it's looking good. And this second one, this last one on the end, is really doing well too. But now we're to my bald cypress grove, and the bald cypress grove is overall doing really well. This one was pretty puny last year, and it's still puny this year, but it's got a lot of leaves, so I'm pleased with it. This is how I wish they all looked. Super ferny. The raindrops on that. Just amazing. If they kept their leaves all year, they'd be the ultimate tree. But I've got, what, 15 out here. Some on the edge of the road. Some doing well, some not. Then I've got these little plots of grass that, as they grow up, it'll clean up as far as what I can mow around. But this beast, well, this is a nice little bald cypress, but behind it is my old oak tree, and I didn't drill it out, but I planted all around it, and you can't tell what's what. But tonight, or not tonight, but this week we'll clean that up, turn that into a bed, and it will completely transform this this corner stop, I think. So much water hanging on those fern-like branches. I love that. More bald cypress. And as we get over here, we've got some dawn redwoods again. This one's not great, but it's going to pull through and it'll clean up at some point. The horse chestnuts, once they bloom, they're kind of meh, but they're a pretty cool tree to see bloom. Here I've got a trio of dawn redwoods that are nice and green and overall doing really well. Here on the back edge we're trying to do some wildflower restorations though. Not mowing and seeing what grows. I planted a lot of different monardas and stuff like that that's from our garden that hopefully will pop up, but so far it's just daisies and clovers. But that's alright too. But this trio of dawn redwoods is just great. Maybe 4 foot a year they can grow when they're this young. Some are hooked up to drip, some are not, but we'll just have to see. I don't think this one's on drip, but as you can see, we're getting a great drink of water today. And on to the pumpkin patch. The pumpkins are doing great. This might be our best year. We haven't done it for a while, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see what pops up. But some are getting a decent size, and we've got a eastern white pine, and in the back here you can't see yet, but the sunflowers are coming up well, and after today and the rain they'll be doing really well, I think. And this back corner of the yard has got a one of the large pines, but we've got some small cypresses here as well. Hopefully add some blockage to the road. And that's a London Plains tree, so it's going to be a big sycamore type tree. This was a gift that was topped. This is a white oak that was topped actually, and it looks like a completely normal tree finally. It's taken about 4 years to grow, but it's got a nice leader going up to the top, and it looks like it was never eaten by a deer and snapped halfway off. It was about maybe 2 foot when we got it, I think. And here's an old bed that overgrew and needed some work. We've got a vanilla strawberry and some pines, and there's some figs actually in there as well. Nice red bud. That's a big, turned into a multi-trunk prairie fire, but I need to spread that out or thin it. I really want 3 trunks. I think there's 4 maybe. But it needs spread out because it's growing straight up, which is not what we want. And the pond edge has got tons of milkweed this year. I haven't seen any monarch caterpillars yet, but I think that'll be a nice show. And a milkweed that I tried to mow around, but something bit the top off. I was gone for 1 day and something bit the top off. Here we've got a balsam fir, a couple of balsam firs. Both started the same, so that one must be on drip because it's twice the size. And another bed I'm going to finish this week, and one that I almost finished with cardboard because it was so hairy is this one. These are more wildflowery, but they've got some, that's got one hydrangea there. We've got a fig there, which is not normal, but that's all right. White pines are looking great. I just love that in the water that sticks to those pine needles. And the vanilla strawberries on the end here are coupled with a lot of fire and ice hydrangeas. The fire and ice everywhere is growing blooms or panicles or budding out, but everything else is still kind of a bit behind, which is fine. There's one of the few oak leaves that have survived. This is a Sem's Beauty. I've never heard of it. Must be a really old variety, but it's supposed to get 20 foot large, but I don't think it's gonna accomplish that in my yard. Here's one more actually. And I think the ones that get a little more shade are doing better, but I got a hydrangea back there that's not getting any sun because of this weeping cherry tree that never blooms. So I think the cherry tree is going to come out once the bird's nest has been accomplished its goal of rearing the babies. And I lost a crabapple here, but the red buds are all I care about, and they're huge. I walked through this last night after being gone for a few days, and it was like walking through a forest in the dark. They just put on so much growth this year. And this is the bed that's got a lot of lilies. Got some wisteria, American wisteria still struggling through, but tiger lilies don't necessarily fit in. But I liked them when I bought them, so they're going to be hard to get out if I want to change. Here's a musclewood. This is a hornbeam type tree, I think, and it's going to have really cool striations in its trunk. You can't see it now because this limelight's so bent over, but these are the first 3 or 4 limelights I bought, and they're going to be monsters this year. Here we've got a lemony laced elderberry. It's got finished blooming, got a few berries on it, I guess. And in the sun they get this really bright yellow, which I don't like. But in the shade, if you plant them in the shade, this is the color that they turn, which is what I want, and that's where I'm going to plant them from now on. That is so cool how different just one plant can have depending on the light requirements and light they're exposed to. that really lime, or maybe I don't know. I don't like the lemon, I like the lime, but what are you gonna do? And there's just so much packed in this bed. We'll get to that once it's beginning to bloom, but a lot of vanilla strawberries and some of the larger botanical hydrangeas. This bed next to it had a large wisteria that never bloomed, hacked it out and opened up a lot of stuff. We've got the large lilies here that'll be popping soon, but there's a Empress Wu hosta that's a huge hosta. You couldn't even tell it was there, nor the ferns that are back here. I think we were gifted a few ferns from somebody that was moving, and they turned into this, which is just Jurassic looking. Against this bloodgood maple, we've got these awesome light colored ferns, and then there's a pine back there. It just looks wild. This red bud that, of course, I've got to stick red buds everywhere, but that is a packed garden bed. I think some of it's going to need to be thinned out, but I don't know which because I like them all. Just a big white lilac here, which bloomed really nice this year. More of the tiger lilies, and then a really big what is this? Vanilla strawberry on this side, lemony lace in the middle, and a firelight. Firelight, yeah. So that's the big one. Firelight will get, this is the big one. Firelight's gonna get 6 to 9 foot tall. Vanilla strawberry is about the same height, I think, but they have the larger blooms, almost 18 inches, which is a pretty large panicle. Another eastern white pine tucked in there. Another, that's a, I don't know if that's a vanilla strawberry or not, but it looks like something's going on. So that one definitely didn't get pruned back right, but that's all right. And then we've got a bloodgood maple with a lot of lilies, so this will completely change here in about 2 weeks maybe, with all the lilies. Big 3-trunked or 2-in-1 river birch. So that's 3 trunks. I think up north they call them 2-in-1s. But the back side of this other garden bed is just full of sea holly. There's little red buds that are interspersed in here, and some buckthorn I need to chop out. So this is going to be a project in and of itself. But some really big hydrangeas are tucked in there. Probably 8 or 9 hydrangeas just in this one lobe. But you can't tell because of all the sea holly, which pollinators love. I really like it, and I don't know. There's a couple of these Japanese blue pines, they called it on the tag, but really slow growers, but they put on a lot of growth this year. They've got, I would say, 9 inches on some of that. So same one on this one. This one actually might have grown faster. I'd say that's a good foot on just that one alone. And they're growing pine cones or more buds on top, so very pleased with that. There's a couple limelights, maybe 3 limelights just right here on the edge, and then the rest should be vanilla strawberries because I was really into vanilla strawberries that year. These are all Nico blue hydrangeas, which are doing really well. Didn't bloom last year. I fertilized again this year, and they've all got blooms starting. Everything's been treated to try to make it a blue flower, but I've treated everything and nothing's blue here, so we'll see if I get some blue flowers. I don't know. And then walking around our back edge, we've got the vegetable garden and just this horseshoe of flowers that a lot came back, a lot did not. I got a lot of obedient plant by the yellow magnolia here, and everything is a flowering tree or ornamental grass, but there's a lot of petunias of a lesser quality planted out here, so we'll see how they do against my super petunia beds, but I already know which ones I like better. And the penstemmon's blooming, so that's kind of new. That's some nice color out here. And the hydrangeas out here are not there yet, but pentstemon, and oh, there's an oak leaf out here too. But a lot of snapdragons, those are fun. Gavin enjoyed planting that out, so snapdragons are always gonna make you stop to look at them. Almost a bearded iris looking thing. And then doubling back to the perimeter here, we've got just a autumn blaze maple, I think, behind me. Small, maybe 15 foot now actually. Here in the corner we've got the dawn redwood, and then a big bed which needs spread out. Those grasses really hog up the space quick. And the redbud actually has blooms that are pea pods this year, which is kind of neat. I've never seen that on any of mine. You got the 2 hardy hibiscus on each side, and then there's 3 limelights, and then there's about 2, 4, 6, 8 grasses, 9 grasses. I don't know. I think one of them's not supposed to be there, but I think one of those is not a real grass. But in the back we've got this white variegated grass. Everything's going to get about 5-6 foot tall, but they're doing really well out here this year. This is kind of a drier spot, and in this bed I've got some weird fungus growing, but everything I've seen says it's not a big deal, so we'll see. So we got a random grass, vanilla strawberry, hydrangea, crabapple, 2 hardy hibiscus in here, some more grass, another vanilla strawberry. There's two vanilla strawberries. One's behind that big variegated grass, and this is one of the old school phantom hydrangeas. I don't really have much luck with them, but they're all right. A couple hydrangeas that shouldn't be out here in this much sun, but they're here. And then the weird fungus that's just coated the ground, but I don't know. And one wet dog. You enjoying it, girl? We'll take a look here at the front, because we just put some annuals up here in the front, and I'm really stuck on what these annuals look like, but the peonies are getting beat up by the rain and the dog, but that's all right. So here on the edge of the house, we're doing lemon coral sedum, super tunia bordeaux, and then there's a super bells, which is yellow. Doing all right. Lavender's coming in great. I almost pulled that up because it looks so bad with all the bulbs, but it's looking good now. It's looking good if I clean this spot up. That's one caveat. And the Incredible hydrangeas are doing great. Obviously the white ones are in force, but I've got a few of the peach, or the pink ones. I can't remember what they're called. Oh, it'll come to me. But those should start blooming. It looks like this week. All of my original hydrangeas are really struggling, but I don't care. They're not supposed to be here in the sun anyway. And we've got a nice batch of color here in the front. Those whites or those yellows don't really hold up to the rain, but once it stops raining, I think they'll perk up. And the lemon coral sedum, of course, is definitely my favorite this year. I don't need any wet hugs, girl. And there's a big black lace elderberry in the back, which is just a trophy plant. You can find it, you need one in your yard. The blooms are just awesome, and the foliage is all you need for the whole year, really. Just super dark, and really pops against anything that's green. So I think we're gonna have a project of learning how to spiral cut these arborvitaes again. Actually not again, because I've never done it, but I've got birds nesting in 2 of them, so I was kind of waiting for all the birds to be done to do it, but it's going to be too late at some point. And along the edge, the original hydrangeas turn into bloomstruck, which are another type of pink versus blue hydrangea, and they're coming up real slow. but they're still pink, so I'm not super pleased with it. I've put maybe 90 pounds of the soil acidifier over 3 years on these, and they're still pink, so I don't think I can get it done. But it would have been so cool to have blue hydrangeas right in front of these yellow or white Incredibles, which you don't see in these areas. And that's my wet dog. You are a wet dog, girl. No, don't go in the dirt. Let's just go in. Ah, I forgot about these. I planted these before I left. We got these planters, and I put one Super Tunia bubblegum in there and 2 Super Tunia bubblegums in there with only 1 sedum, so the other one has 2 sedums. So we'll see how that performs, but that is going to be cool if everything works out. But until then, that's a garden update, and thanks for watching. You wanna go inside? Gosh, you're wet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's a rose bloom back there too. What else did we miss? I don't know. Let's go.